other players have that in mind. How can I make my way on either team, on the American or the European team?
I think Celine will be there, though.
She's pretty much a lock.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, special last year, 2023, the win. She said it's kind of bittersweet that she's heading out today, and that year's nearly completed full circle.
It was pretty special last year here, watching how she handled the pressure, handled the expectations, and just to watch the crowd really embrace her in her home country. It was very, very cool. And to see her interview after the fact, say, I could pretty much be done for the rest of the year. This is nothing can top this.
Well, she wasn't she? She won a couple more times. In fact, the week after, it was one of the most memorable Amundi Evian Championships. The home hero getting it done, Celine Boutier. Given the way she played here previously, a year ago, no expectations coming into this week. It's a little different now. How does she cope with that?
Well, she hasn't had her best season, certainly so far this year compared to the highs of last year, and it's got to be emotional for her to return here. There's certainly much more pressure, I think, even than she faced coming into this event last year.
Dreamed that maybe she could do this one day herself, and did she ever do it?
I mean, just in historic fashion as well. Just, I think back to that scene around the 18th green after she won, and it's one of the coolest things that I've seen in my career as a golfer and as a broadcaster. It was just fabulous.
And again, as we said, she's playing with the two previous Amundi Evian champions before her. She doesn't have to leave it here. She could win it again. Take it home one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Group 29.
Have a good night.
Tee time 12:36. On the tee, from France, the defending champion, Celine Boutier.
I like the way that Agnes Meneghel says it, our first tee announcer.
I have to imagine her heart is racing a bit here to start this championship. Just up the right center.
Nice.
Well, that was, though, back in the 1990s with the dame herself, Laura Davies. Single putts all round. What a great save that was from Celine Boutier.
That's a great opportunity there for Gemma.
And Boutier at 2.
Just trying to hold something off there. Beautifully done. That is perfect judgment of distance.
Well, we have a moment. Let's go back to you.
Clutch putt for par on the first, so this is another, but for birdie instead. Much flatter on this part of the green, so overall not much movement.
She took to Instagram to say, anyone have any advice on how I can improve my putting? And has not been kind to me. That was earlier this season.
Nothing quite like
Based in New Orleans. Celine Boutier in Texas. Bunker off the tee at 3.
Yeah, thankfully it's nice and shallow, and the ball's sitting up okay from 131 yards. I quite like a back-footed pitching wedge. If you catch it, fly it all the way, you can gauge that spin. If you pitch it shy, it does kick forwards.
Not been the most straightforward start, having to chip out at the first. She's one under par through a couple of holes and even finding the bunker off the tee there. Got a birdie look.
She definitely looks shaky, Richard, to start.
And you'd understand that.
Yeah, I felt like she'd be a little bit nervous on that first tee. Yeah. Eyes have always been on Celine, certainly here playing in France, but never more than to start this championship.
It's a mixed bag. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like I said, she was a little bit in between clubs there, Grant, so opted up to the 7 instead of the 8, which was smart play. And this is one of those putts, it's breaking hard right to left. It's a big side slope, but the higher up you go, the more break it will take. So overall, line and pace control is going to be absolutely crucial to get right.
I like what she's doing there, Incy, walking kind of to the high point on that slope, looking at what it'll do once it'll crest that hill. And that helps determine the pace that it'll fall over the slope.
I think it gives you a lot more feel. You can feel it on your feet as well. It's the only point of contact between yourself and the ground. So, yeah, agreed.
What grade would you give that one?
That was a good effort.
And last, certainly not least, to go, Celine Boutier.
You can definitely hear the thud when the ball is landing. I'm getting a bit of release.
Incy, as the heat starts to dry out these greens and they become a little bit firmer, could change with tomorrow's weather. There is a slight chance this afternoon for storms. Hope they stay away.
Yeah, don't we all? Because the golf has been...
Slope initially in the first 10 feet of the putt, and then it just gradually climbs. But I'm just standing beyond the green here, looking out to that lake, and the pond is so turquoise. It's just magical colors all around.
Well, they were urging it in. Galleries round there at 5, not to beat.
On the tee at 6, Celine Boutier. Popular spot on the course there, the 6th tee, the 18th green, just behind 5th green, a nexus. 16th green is not far away either. Great spot on a course that has more back 2021. Now Celine with her second.
I'd imagine any sort of victory here and you walk away, you feel pretty proud of yourself. I'm pretty sure last year Boutier was leading tee to green. She was first in that and then second around the green. So it just shows how important you need all aspects of your game to be.
That's got to be 3 of the best shots you're going to see in on that 6th hole by how she can control that ball.
And Celine for birdie at the 6th.
Yeah, this green is just surrounded by subtle breaks. Again, another one quite difficult to see an obvious movement. But I tell you what, with that approach shot, deserves to go in.
Good stroke. You just got to tell yourself after a putt like that, I hit it where I wanted to. It just didn't go in. It was a good, confident, solid stroke, though. On a weekend in a major.
To the 7th, and Boutier.
Well, the tee's been moved up just shy of 40 yards or so this par 5 is definitely reachable in 2.
It's been one of the hardest fairways to hit today. Actually, the hardest right at this moment. Only 40% of the field finding this fairway in regulation. It is just really narrow and has a lot of slope to it.
All right, back at the 7th, and this is Boutier.
Just shows how important it is to hit a fairway here on 7. The only player to hit the fairway and the only player going for this green in 2. I've got her down as about 258 yards to the flag, but she softened these fairway metals. If you pitch it shy, it's quite a steep slope. You could just kill it, so you've got to be somewhat lucky here with the release.
She went after this hard, NC, trying to get that release up that slope. Is it going to stay?
Teetering.
Okay, I think we can say good shot. It came to rest. That was brilliant.
How good was that for a second shot? Man, this is definitely swaying off her left big time. It will flatten up at the end, though. Some eagle this would be, and some noise we would hear.
Megan Scofield's putt didn't break towards the lake as much as she thought. That was right in the heart.
No eagle, but hopefully a formality as far as the birdie's concerned for Celine Boutier, just to take her back under par. Not a problem. Shot 4 rounds in the 60s last year, winning by 6 shots.
Boutier to go first.
185 yards. It does play a little bit downhill because this tee box in a bit of an elevation. So, like Morgan said, looking to pitch this in the front portion of the green, definitely right of the flag. A little bit of draw. It might kick hard to the left. So, ideally a neutral ball flight too.
She got on top of that quite a bit. Squeezed it out to the right. Gonna catch that slope. And not gonna have a lot of pace as it tries to make its way to the bottom tier. Be a quick putt there.
Right.
She's tried quite a few putters this year.
Grips and everything else. Boutier for birdie. Or you can do like Celine and just ask for help on social media.
Of this opening round at Evian, former AIG Women's Open champion.
Played so well. Acts of Holly, even with the broken toe that she sustained there.
I saw Ash yesterday. It's still definitely bothering her a little bit, and I think the uneven terrain around this golf course said she's having a really hard time posting up on her left side. Play it like a bunker shot, especially helpful playing Bermuda grass, which is not the case this week.
Good looking shot for Celine Boutier on the 9th tee. Fairways aren't as firm as they were last year. Last year that might...
Very thick. Clump of grass behind the ball as well. So no control, a lot of release. Very difficult to control.
choking well up on this one to get a little bit more control. Actually surprising to see how quickly that stopped.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
She's growing up in France. There was some signs of some nerves early on, but she settled okay, and given what we've seen from the scoring from everyone else out this afternoon, she's very much providing a solid foundation to this defence.
Fortunate not to be able to take advantage of that beautiful pitch shot she hit there. Take another look here. Does this bobble just...
And back to the 10th tee for Boutier.
If you're short or right here, it's very easy to get blocked out, but looks like this is heading left.
You can at least play from the left side. Like you said, NC, anything up the right is very quickly blocked out. One of the interesting things that I feel like we both from Jin Young and Celine ended up short.
Left of the fairway is Boutier at 10. NC, what do you see here?
I don't see anything pretty, that's for sure. The ball's nestled down once again. There's an overhanging branch about 20 yards in front, and you need to be strong, but this will come out low and chasing. And I'd imagine looking to pitch this maybe 40, 50 yards short of the green, get it rolling, but then you've got to climb a steep slope, and that flag's at the back. So as you can probably tell, it's not easy.
Came out super heavy. You could hear the sound of that club traveling through the rough, but what a shot.
Magical.
It came out a little left on her with the thickness of the rough, but she played for that, knew that was going to happen. A bit of a guessing game when it comes to how much this is going to release. Let's take a look. See how that came out. Just a hair left of really where she was set up. That looked like a relatively easy, good look at birdie the whole way, didn't it?
Yeah. Minji's thinking, if I could just be within 7 going into the final round Sunday, then maybe I could do it again like she did in 2021. All right, here is Celine for birdie. Celine's been battling from that opening hole when she missed the fairway and scrambled for par, and 1 under through 10. Not bad.
It's been a little bit somewhat of her story of her year this year as well, Grant.
Yeah.
I'd say a slightly better angle for Boutier, being further left on the fairway, but it's also not as severe, so overall flatter lie. So 103, I'd imagine maybe just an easy gap wedge, feeling this one in. You want to take that false front out of play, carry it all the way, and there is a bit of a backstop beyond this pin if you need to use it.
Should be looking about 5 to 8 feet right of this flag. Try and get some left spin.
Some aggressive action there. Hold on.
Yeah, that is a little bit too much. That was about 15 feet right of the flagstick and caught the more severe slope.
Defending champion amongst everyone out there at the moment. A little bit behind the leaders.
Have dried up today.
Yeah, the way these three started, you thought, here we go, a couple of birdies early on from Henderson and Lee in the hole out of the third. Celine was going along okay. It's gone a little quiet Need to get those crowds revved up a little. Outside chance here for Boutier.
Yeah, sometimes you just need one shot to go in, and it just sparks a bit of magic inside of you. Slow putt here.
A bit like that. Rekindling those feelings from a year ago. What a putt from Boutier.
And after ending up here, you have that right slope on the green. Good aggressive putt up the hill. Give the fans something to really cheer about. That was awesome.
That was a little more like it, Incy.
Yeah.
Front 9, 7, and 9. On the tee at 12, Celine Boutier.
Yeah, you just got to watch out for the two fairway bunkers down the left.
You can catch that speed slot right there. That is way down there. She will have just a...
To draw the ball, so this slope is only going to help make her feel more comfortable. Looking to start this a couple of yards right, work it back in.
Good play. That'll leave a bit of a quick putt. But it is not that she's going to have to pitch out sideways.
13th tee, Celine Boutier.
It's a bit like 11, where you've got those fairway bunkers down the right wing, and once again it would suit a draw, working it right to left.
Yeah, this might be too far right here. Is it going to slope through the fairway? Gets a good kick a little bit left, be just fine.
Three, though, leaders, 64s, all three of them bogey-free. Patty Tapatanikit, Ingrid Lindblad and Gemma Drybrook all finished this morning.
Stand on the right.
The most delightful characters you'll find out here on the LPGA Tour. To 13.
95 yard Boutier. This was flighting beautifully. Pretty good. It's long.
Another opportunity. Just got to keep giving herself those chances. 2 under, 5 back. At 4 rounds in the 60s. She won by 6. Builders team, we call it. That milky rubbish. Now, Celine Boutier, who hold a beautiful one across the green at 11. This one maybe even about the same sort of length.
It's just still a little bit tricky. You've got to climb the slope, so it's going to be quite slow. Much straighter than Henderson's putt for sure, but still, it will have a little bit of right to left movement.
Considering that Celine had a little bit of a tough start, shaky start, she's really settled herself down and played some very solid golf after the first few holes. That one just grazing the edge. Looked like that could have easily fallen in on the most difficult.
It's about the bounces. We saw Morgan Mittrell go way left, but it kicked onto the green. Aditya Ashok just went a little bit farther, and it got stuck up in that rough. So, as you and others so often say, it's you got to hit good shots, and then you got to get some good breaks. I realize that's the case at just about every major, but maybe here more than most.
Here definitely more than most, and I think that you see the slopes and you kind of want to use them, but they can certainly work against you as well. And like this shot, for example, it's best to take it just dead on and not try to use any of the slopes.
Boutier did just that. She'll be rewarded with a birdie putt. Or is it Celine?
I'm not too sure myself. I think it's Boutier. It looks like she's ready to go as well. And it's a bit of a twisty putt, this. It's a double breaker. Very sneaky, left to right to start off with, right to left in that second half. And overall, you would have thought they might cancel each other out.
Gabby Lopez at 3 under, the best score among the afternoon wave. This for Boutier to join Gabby at that number.
And Grant, the scoring average this afternoon is, or the scoring average for the entirety of the day is half a shot higher than it was about 4 hours ago. So it's definitely been a different test of golf for these players out here this afternoon.
Well, she's got a couple of par 5s to come. And she could very well get to that 5 under par number that she posted in the opening round last year en route to victory.
It's a tricky putt to read because it does break left, but the lake is to her right. Well done.
Yeah, she was 2 off the lead after the opening round last year. Took the lead on Friday and never let it go. Went on to win by 6.
Recent months, but put together her best score on the LPGA Tour. Let's go to the 15th tee, Celine Boutier.
It's long, but it does play downhill. Really important to find the fairway hit. Good.
Nicely done, Celine Boutier, who hasn't had a top 10 since February. But there's something in to the par 5. 15th we go with Celine Boutier.
She's got a long way to go, 291 yards. Just got to watch out for the 2 fairway bunkers ahead. But she's laying up short of this, which is smart. Bit of an ask, I'd say, to carry.
Ona Maguire Friday line. 15th hole, Boutier. Well, Gabby Lopez has just moved to 4 under par. Every chance Celine Boutier out on the course could do the same.
Well, and that's something that you have to be aware of. I mean, obviously, we've seen a lot of really low score, and I particularly don't like it if it's windy and the flags blustering around all over the place.
Well, she just goes quietly and efficiently about her business, Celine Boutier.
I think to a certain extent it must be pretty hard. I was speaking to her manager, Vicky, and you know, she's had a lot of media duties to the build-up of this event. I think with the hype of being defending champion, the Olympics, photo shoots, interviews, radio, you know, there's a lot to do when you're preparing for a major championship. But of course, it's all part of the role, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you go on the LPGA Tour social media, there's a nice little 5-minute film about her win last year.
There's no better feeling than winning at home in front of your home crowds and your home fans. It just makes it all the more special and all the more important.
She's 3 off the lead now, Celine Boutier.
Boutier.
I'm going to leave this quiz to you guys, honestly. 148 yards, but it does downhill and make it 144. You're definitely better off clubbing down than clubbing up. Long left is a no-go. Great lead.
Don't cheat.
I won't.
Okay, I saw you looking at a computer there. I thought,
Yeah, well, I've got to look at the score.
oh, no. Well, we can't. We do have trusty assistant Brian Schroll sitting next to you, so he can of the lead.
So she would have grown up watching these Australian players
Exactly.
win.
Have you got the other 2?
No, well, I've got 1, but
Okay.
not 2.
Go on.
It was before I came here, but I know.
You've been coming here since 15.
2008 was the first time. I know one of them.
Go on.
So Wendy Dooley.
Yes. And what was the other one?
I don't know.
It was early doors. It was back in... Yeah.
Hetherington.
Oh!
What?
You got
Bingo!
it! That was fantastic
Ding, ding,
work
ding,
by
ding,
the
ding,
assistant
Where did that
Brian,
come from?
slipping that note to you.
Seriously?
Okay.
Is that right?
That was, you were right. Yeah,
Inspired.
very good. Very, very good. That's why you're here. Okay, Boutier trying to chip it in for a birdie.
Do I get a prize?
You do.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Well
a-
done,
there's a
Richard.
bottle of
Really
water.
proud of you, mate.
Very stressful, to have to say.
I'm sweating for you. Right, this is actually quite a decent lie for Boutier. It's just going to curve a little bit right to left. Quite makeable, in fact. Lucky not to have gone down into the hazard.
Yeah, look at that, right on the edge. This came out a little soft on her, didn't it?
I just like the club got stuck.
Yeah, just when you're on that upslope and she